Today, Sarah and I are really excited to teach you something that is very typical of a region right north of Tuscany, and they're called Piadine Romagnole. Just to show you as to what we're talking about, this is Tuscany right here, and Emilia-Romagna is right up here, so it goes almost from coast to coast. Not quite, because here is Liguria, but it stretches across all the way to the Adriatic Sea, and here you can see a little bit what it looks like. Here is Tuscany, and Emilia-Romagna is right above, and this is where Piadine Romagnole are made. Like so many delicious Italian dishes, this is one of the cucina povera, a peasant dish, and it dates back all the way to the Etruscans. So I put some salt in here. Here, a little bit of baking soda. We're gonna mix all this up. And in ancient times, of course, lard was used. And sometimes today, they still use it with good lard, but also you can substitute it with olive oil. So we're gonna put some lard and some olive oil in here. And this recipe is given to us by a dear friend who comes from this region. Now we're gonna add water to it. And we're gonna actually just use our hands to incorporate the fat with the flour. And there is absolutely no better tool than your hands. And by the way, I'm gonna show you a really neat trick to keep this bowl from moving. We put some cloths, kind of damp dished cloths right there so it doesn't move around. And so we're gonna bring all this together and slowly bring in all the flour. The dough is definitely beginning to come together, and now we will knead it. And it's not going to have the smoothest surface at first, but we will allow it to rest for like 5-10 minutes and then get back to it again. I'm going to use both hands now. As many recipes, every city and every part of the region will have a little bit of a different spin on it, especially when it comes to rolling it out and the thickness of the disc we will eventually form. So you can see the dough has come together. We're going to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes and quickly knead it again. We're going to work the dough one more time. So it only takes a few minutes to kind of bring the dough together before we allow it to rest for about 25-30 minutes. To cover it up and allow it to rest. The dough has rested, it's nice and soft, and now we're ready to divide it. We're going to divide it up into 6 parts. So let me just go down the middle and right here, and we're going to weigh them so that we have equal parts. Let's see here. Bit more. That's about good. Now that they're equally divided, I'm just gonna make them into dough balls, and you can kind of finish them off like this. We'll do this with all of them, and then place them back into our tray, cover them up, and we can start stretching the first one. We'll place them in here and cover them up. I guess I will bring one out so we can already begin to stretch this one. Just a light dusting of flour, and then we'll make a nice round here. In the central part of Emilia-Romagna, the piadine are rolled out about to this thickness right here. But then the closer you get to the coast, the thinner they become. So we're gonna do some of each so you can kind of see the difference. Now let's talk about methods of cooking. So imagine this being made out of terracotta, and of course this one is a cast iron skillet. They used to place this into a fireplace, heat it up, and then put the piadina right on top. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna preheat this in the gas oven outside, but we also have some stones in there that are made out of clay and volcanic rock, and we're gonna place them right on there as well. We're gonna slide it into the oven that has previously been lit. There is the flame in the very back, so we're gonna try some piadine on here and some on the stone. As the cast iron skillet is heating up, we're gonna get our next piadina and roll it out as well into a nice sphere. So you can see this one is a bit smaller and thicker, and this one instead is gonna be quite a bit thinner. We're about to bring out our first piadina. We're gonna pull this out. Now remember, traditionally something like this would be put on top of a stovetop, but we are going to use the gas-fired oven. And you will quickly see that it's going to begin to bubble up. This little wooden spatula, we're going to flip it. And once again, make a few little holes in there. So look inside. These are some of the typical markings of a Piadina Romagnola. Now on this piadina, we're going to put some fresh arugula. And then on top, we will put slices of prosciutto crudo, cured ham. Oh, look how this already looks so wonderful. First, we're gonna put some shavings of Parmigiano Reggiano. And look at this beauty right here. A quick drizzle of olive oil and a little dusting of cayenne pepper because we just like heat. And here we go. This is our first Piadina Romagnola that is going to be so delicious. Let's go and make some more. So here we stretched a thin one and we're gonna put it directly on the stone. We have to bust some of these bubbles in here. Oh, it's hot. And then in a minute we'll be able to flip it. This one can be flipped. This piadina right here is ready to come out. We'll place this one right on top of the other and bring them inside. Once again, we're gonna put some rucola right on top. Look at this beautiful green. Some prosciutto. Spread it nicely out. And then shavings of Parmigiano Reggiano. Oh, Parmigiano makes everything better. As well, of course, even the olive oil. All right, let's spread this out a bit. A little dusting of cayenne. A drizzle of very good olive oil. We'll close it up and look at this. Absolutely wonderful. I can barely wait to eat. Sarah and I are dying to taste one. We're gonna divide it up. She's gonna get a slice and so will I. I'm gonna wish you un buon appetito. So good. Here, Sarah.